I'm always delighted to be with Saul News. This has been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for September 15th, 2023. The Hill reports, McCarthy directs House committees to open Biden impeachment inquiry. Speaker Kevin McCarthy on Tuesday directed House committees to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden based on the House GOP's investigations of his family's foreign business dealings in the prosecution of his son, Hunter Biden.
House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings. Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his son's and his son's business partners. We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives.
McCarthy's formal endorsement of impeachment comes after weeks of him saying that he thought the House probes would eventually develop into an impeachment inquiry. A portion of the House GOP probes center on whether the federal investigation into Hunter Biden, who has been charged with failure to pay income tax and unlawful possession of a firearm, was slow-walked, as two whistleblower IRS agents have testified to the House GOP. The Washington Examiner reports, Pelosi dodges endorsing Kamala Harris as Biden's running mate. Representative Nancy Pelosi dodged answering if she thinks Vice President Kamala Harris is President Joe Biden's best option for a running mate in 2024. When asked if she believed Harris was the best running mate for the president, Pelosi dodged giving an endorsement, saying the role of the vice president doesn't do that much, but is a source of strength, inspiration, intellectual resource, and the rest.
So people shouldn't underestimate what Kamala Harris brings to the table.
But do you think she is the best running mate, though?
She's the vice president of the United States. So when people say to me, well, why isn't she doing this or that? I said, because she's the vice president. That's the job description. You don't do that much. You're a source of strength, inspiration, intellectual resource, and the rest. I think she's represented our country very well at home and abroad.
Pelosi, who announced last week that she would run for re-election in the House, pointed to Harris's campaign record as Attorney General of California in 2011, calling the vice president very politically astute for winning the election while only having 6% in the polls at one point. And finally, Town Hall reports, GOP rep unloads on reporter who claims there's no evidence of Biden corruption. GOP Representative Scott Perry of Pennsylvania gave a reporter an earful on Tuesday after she suggested Republicans don't have evidence against President Biden to justify an impeachment inquiry. The Republican lawmaker pointed out several examples of evidence of the president's corruption in response to a question from a reporter from the United Kingdom.
Yes, ma'am. Can I just ask, what actual evidence do you have as opposed to allegations to show to the American public that would merit an actual impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden and prove that today isn't just about some of you...
Oh, I don't know.
McCarthy for the sake of enacting political revenge.
This isn't about political revenge. We have the bank accounts. We can see, ma'am, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interests. Those things aren't normal. That's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes to not only just widespread corruption, but money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. And we also have the vice president at the time on record saying that the prosecutor was fired. Well, son of a bitch, the prosecutor was fired, right? Because the prosecutor was going after the company that his son was working on. That's what we have. If you can't see that, if you are that blind, look, I'll turn it over to the attorneys.
People can't see that. They think it's political revenge.
It's because you don't report on it.
We're reporting on it today.
I'm not sure how you know what the American people think, but here's what they might wonder.
Ultimately, Representative Perry insisted that the impeachment inquiry is not a tit-for-tat move. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for September 15th, 2023. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.